Now I'm gonna go to my branch global and reactivate the branches and see what I have. First of all, I'm gonna deactivate the leaves so I can have a clear view of what I have for the branches. The first thing I notice is that since I increased the radius of the trunk, the radius of the first level branches is too small. If I go to branch global, I have the branch taper bias, which I can reduce. It does not increase the radius of the branch per se, but what it does is reduce the tapering along the length of the branch. The branch still has the same radius. And here I see that I need to work on the tiling. So I would go to my UV setup and I would set the V tiling for the branch to 0.65 or 0.55 actually. 2.5 for the branch U tiling. All right, this looks good. So I'm gonna reactivate the leaves. And this is what I have so far. Now I'm gonna go to my tree parameters and I'm gonna randomize the look of the tree so it looks more to my liking, and it looks slightly different than the tree that I have in the tree library. One thing I want to try is go to the branch level 1 and I'm gonna increase the branch length, say to 300 centimeters, and I'm gonna increase the variance of the length, and I'm gonna increase the variance of the length so that not all the branches have the same length. Okay, so this looks like a nice tree. One last thing I want to do to this is go down to branch level 1 and increase the radius, say to 35. Yeah, so this looks like it's a much older tree. If I look at the tip of that branch, I see that it's too wide, so I need to taper it down. So I take the branch taper to 0.7086 and so forth until I have a nice blending between the tip of this branch and the level 2 branches, which I seem to do right now. For the leaves, if I want to render with a close-up view, I would need to increase the size of the leaves so that the texture would project itself properly on the leaf. For that, I would go to leaves, and here I have the size set to 1. I need to set it to at least a value of 2 so that the texture is projected properly onto the leaf. Another thing this is useful for is the folding. So if I increase the fold, say to 5, then the leaves are going to fold. Of course, I can just increase this to whatever I want, but for this type of leaf, I'm not going to fold it too much. I'm going to give it a folding of 2. Since I'm not going to render this at a close-up, I'm going to set the sides to 1 so that this would be slightly faster to work with. And before I save it, I'm going to play with a few more randomized values to see which tree I like the most. Now, all of them are going to give me nice trees because I'm starting from a good base tree, which is the one that comes installed with the plugin. All right, so this looks like a good tree that I would like to use. So all I have to do is go to Window and go to my content browser. Here I have a folder called My Tree Library. I'm gonna rename this tree to Eucalyptus tree, say 1. All right, and I'll just drag it onto my tree library. And there it is. From now on, I can actually use this in my projects. So let's say that I wanted to create variations on that. I'm gonna make a copy of this, and I will make a copy of the material and I'll replace the existing texture. I want to create a younger tree. So first of all, I'll randomize it so that it looks different. All right, so I'll randomize the tree, look for a nice seed. Okay, this looks good. And here I would reduce the radius of the trunk, say to 65. I'm gonna reduce the height of the trunk, say to 750. And maybe I'm gonna reduce the insertion count so that we have fewer branches at the last branch, say to 5. Okay, 5 is too low, so I'm gonna go by 7. All right, so now we have a nice younger tree that I can use. So I'll do the same thing I did before. Content browser, and I'll just grab, so I'll call this Eucalyptus tree 2, and I'll drag it over. And there it is, ready for me to use in my different projects. So this is how I create my own tree variations and save them over to be used over and over in different projects.